Making Steph cry? Really, Draymond? Good thing two-way Wiggins was here for the rescue. In today's film review, we're going to review that tumultuous Magic vs. Warriors game and what Andrew Wiggins did to seal the victory for the Warriors. Early in the game, it seemed like the Warriors clearly had a plan to get Andrew Wiggins involved. While Draymond Green was still in the game, he kind of sets up on Paolo Banchero, and they essentially run an action right here using Steph Curry as a decoy to draw two defenders, and Andrew Wiggins hopefully getting open by the block. It seems like now they're trying to run more plays for Andrew Wiggins to get him open in the low post area where he seems to be more comfortable and has been in the past. Right here, he kind of posts up right here and ends up scoring the ball in a position where he clearly had the height and strength advantage over a smaller player. In this next clip right here, we see two-way Wiggins really in action. We have Franz Wagner coming down with a head of speed in transition right at Andrew Wiggins. Now GP2 is in a good position here to potentially block any outlet passes, so Andrew Wiggins knows that Wagner's probably going to end up driving it into the lane and trying to score on him. Now Wiggins does a nice job of trying to push him towards the center of the court. And he does this because he knows GP2 is here as well as Steph Curry. And this creates a crowded lane for him. But Andrew Wiggins the only tall guy here, and he realizes that Wagner really has only one move to go up with it. He doesn't really have the space to dunk it over him and can only really get it on the layup. And Wiggins, with his long reach, is able to just get a hand on that ball right there and is able to end up blocking that shot, which was incredible. This was just the start of a great run for the Warriors as Steph Curry passes it ahead and gives Klay Thompson an easy layup. And that's what two-way Wiggins brings to the Warriors, something that really no other player can bring, that defensive prowess along with the offensive skill to essentially isolate and create plays without having to exhaust Steph Curry. Now here we see a little bit of a different type of skill that Wiggins used to have in that 2020 finals, but is seeming to regain, and that's the three-point shot. Wiggins early in the season definitely was one of the worst three-point shooters in the league, shooting at the volume he was shooting at, which was around 2 or 3 a game. Now though, he's really turned it around and he's above 35% on the season almost, and recently he's been shooting above 35% pretty consistently game after game. And this three-point shot is super important right here because it allows us to space the court as Warriors, and it allows the Warriors to essentially run more actions with non-shooters like GP2 and Trayce Jackson-Davis. The Warriors have really been struggling this season to actually fit a whole lineup where they have 3 or 4 actual shooters because they need to put in Draymond Green, they need to put in Trayce Jackson-Davis, they need to put GP2, and all of those are non-shooters. And if they end up putting Andrew Wiggins in as well, and Jonathan Kuminga, who's not the best three-point shooter, we essentially only have Steph and Klay who can shoot, and Chris Paul just hasn't been taking the shots. Right here, this is something we probably haven't seen a lot all season. Andrew Wiggins isolated on Jonathan Isaac, and the Warriors essentially saying, okay, here you go. We're going to kind of let you run the play and let you see kind of what we should do on offense. Right here, he's looking up Isaac right in the face, and they're setting kind of a pick and roll here with Andrew Wiggins and Steph Curry, something we don't see a lot. It seems like right here, Isaac is planning on sticking with Andrew Wiggins, and Steph Curry, the guy is just simply glued to him, and so he's not going to try to let him go. But what this means is that Jonathan Isaac, thinking that two-way Wiggins isn't back yet, gets back and tries to essentially stop him from pushing towards the rim, and this leaves Wiggins wide open from 3, and he's able to punch in that three-point shot. And this is really important for the Warriors in the future. If they're to make any noise in the play-in game, they're going to need to start to have two-way Wiggins coming back by defending, but also by making clutch three-point shots, because that allows them to play players like GP2 at the wing position, and it allows them to also play Jonathan Kuminga beside him, because then they can play somebody like Chris Paul, Andrew Wiggins, and Steph Curry, and allows them to have 3 shooters on the court. In this specific play right here, we have Chris Paul isolating up at the top of the key. Looks like they're trying to run a play. It's earlier in the shot clock. Andrew Wiggins is going to be on Joe Ingles, and he's going to kind of cross through around the baseline. It seems like he's wanting Trayce Jackson-Davis initially to set him the screen right where we're looking. Trayce Jackson-Davis, though, rotates up, I think, looking for Chris Paul, saying, okay, hey, I need to set a screen for Chris Paul. I've been doing this all season. It's worked out really well for me. Kind of ignores Andrew Wiggins a little bit, but also what it does do is it provides an empty spot of space And it seems like Isaac wasn't really expecting there to be this empty side space. Maybe he was thinking maybe we're doing some like zone-like thing here. Or he was just thinking that Andrew Wiggins was just going to cut to the three-point line and he wouldn't be any sort of a threat. But actually, Isaac isn't in the perfect position to really contest Wiggins. And Chris Paul fakes like he's about to do a shot, but Andrew Wiggins ends up getting the ball through a nice pass, and this leaves him wide open. And now Isaac is recovering, and a big man recovering to the perimeter. It's going to be tough for him. He just got hit with a three right in his face, so he definitely doesn't want him to shoot the three there. So he kind of over closes out, essentially, and so Andrew Wiggins has a nice driving lane right here. And there's really nobody on the Magic that is in a great position, but Wagner gets a nice kind of contest here. He tries to block him off from getting into the paint. So Wiggins shoots this nice floater, and Isaac actually contests this very nicely, but Andrew Wiggins is able to make that shot and really show his incredible abilities in that two-point position that the Warriors really need. They lack those types of scorers that can score a tough two, and Andrew Wiggins is supposed to be the player that brings that, especially without Jonathan Kuminga. In this next play right here, we have Andrew Wiggins once again in an isolation possession. The Warriors late in the game saying, hey, take us home. You've done a great job so far. He's on a smaller player and threatening a mismatch. And this is something we just don't see enough from the Warriors. Jonathan Isaac comes over here, tries to help, tries to block the shot, but he never really had a chance. Punishing mismatches is something that the Warriors really struggle to do. Steph Curry doesn't inherently really have a mismatch on anyone where he can take advantage of them physically. Klay Thompson just isn't that type of player anymore. It's really just up to Andrew Wiggins and Jonathan Kuminga. And when we're in these possessions where we need to give Steph a break, it's really critical for Andrew Wiggins to turn back into two-way Wiggins and really dominate smaller players. And as you see here, Steph's being so happy right here, just being like, thank God we won this game. Even though Draymond's out, I'm so happy. And so with Draymond out, another star has emerged, and I think the star that Warriors fans were hoping we had all season, but at least he's showing up eventually in Andrew Wiggins, and he's going to be key to the Warriors championship run. If you liked our little highlight of Andrew Wiggins, please let us know. Please like, comment, subscribe, and follow our YouTube channel. Thank you.